Yeah, Lon, you mentioned after game Saturday that you maybe had Brady in for too long of a stretch. How tough is that to balance in terms of bringing him in but not doing it too fast that you suffered a setback?
Yeah, it's different for each kid. You just try to react to, you're asking them all the time how they're feeling, and then react to how they're playing and how they're moving, and there's not any perfect science to it, but yeah, you just have to kind of play it by ear. And I think Brady will keep making progress with regard to, game readiness, which is great. He's working hard, but yeah, you never know. You just have to play it by ear and try to work with the player to see where that fine line is.
Thanks, Lon.
Yep.
Let's head to Josh Callaway next.
Yeah, Lon, Elijah Harkless was named Big 12 Newcomer of the Week just a little while ago. I was wondering if you could speak on how great he's been for you, especially in this time, since when Brady was out for a little while, and also how difficult he's making on you on the decision on whether to keep him in the lineup or move Brady back in that spot whenever the time comes for him.
Elijah's making progress, it seems like, with every game. He got eligible middle of December there, and he really missed those first, couple, 3 weeks of the season. But made consistent progress, obviously coming off of a couple of games where he played really well. Regardless of who starts, it's great to have, quality people, whether it be EJ coming off the bench or Brady coming off the bench or Victor or whoever. We've got really good depth and confidence in whoever goes into the ball game. So right now, a lot of individuals playing well as a group, and most importantly, have to focus on continuing to make progress and get better.
We're going to head to Eric Bailey.
Hey, Lon, can you just tell us a little bit about this Texas team, what you're seeing on film, just how talented is this team you're playing tomorrow night?
It's very talented. Similar group to last year with an addition or two, and Greg Brown and a year older, year better, a year more connected. Shaka's done a great job again. Again, rangy, long, athletic, shoot the ball well. I mean, they're top 3 or 4 team in the country. So when you play people like that, they're good for a reason, and they've got all the pieces to make it tough on you to score. And they got a lot of guys that can score on the other end. So they're very good. They're very good.
Shaka mentioned today that he's going to miss tomorrow night because of testing positive for COVID. Just your thoughts on Shaka, and then also how tough would it be to coach a team being away from him after settle in and midway through the season and just abruptly have to step away?
Well, very difficult to step away. It's something that when you're doing it for a lot of years, you're used to being there every time. So anytime you can't be there for whatever reason, then it would be really difficult. So hope I spoke to Shaka and hope he continues to get better and recover and get healthy and stay safe.
Lon, thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
We'll head to Ryan Chapman.
Hey, Lon, I know year in, year out, the conversation around this conference is that there are a ton of great teams and the schedule's always grueling. But as you look forward with today's new rankings, 6 of your next 7 are all top 11 opponents. Have you ever seen the stretch run in this conference be that just difficult in years past?
It's, of course, been really difficult every year. This year may be a little more extreme, I guess, if you consider the number of teams ranked or nearly ranked. It's a tough league. It's great. The coaches are great. The depth of players is great. And I think the defenses this year across the league are just a little better from top to bottom than they've ever been, and they've always been good. But it seems like the emphasis defensively for a lot of teams has been ramped up a little bit, which makes it more grueling and more challenging and tough every night out, like you say.
Next, we'll go to Jenny Carlson.
Hey, Lon, you were talking about how long you've been in coaching in basketball, and obviously relating that to the COVID situation with Shaka. I'm just curious, as you think about your years of experience, what do you feel like you and your staff have leaned on most when it comes to helping the team navigate through what's been a season like none other?
Since July, I don't know if there's one thing. I think we just really emphasized, consistent, constant, maybe more than ever communication, talking to our guys about it. And again, you add the COVID, all the racial injustice stuff, and all the craziness that's gone on. The riots, the Capitol. I mean, all this stuff that's gone on, and without COVID, it would have been an extreme year. With COVID, to add to all that, I mean, just concerned about the emotional well-being of the players. So I think the emphasis on just consistent and large amount of communication. How you doing? Anyone bothered by anything? The occasional you need to talk to someone. I mean, all that stuff, which you always do in a normal setting, but probably ramped it up a little bit this year in terms of just trying to even be more transparent and more open and more questions and starting with, most importantly, how you doing? How you feeling? You need anything? Type of stuff.
You mentioned consistency, and that's always been a hallmark of your programs and your teams wherever you've been, because there's maybe been more off-court stuff than ever before. Even though you're always checking with guys how they are and that sort of thing, have you had to be more mindful of those times when maybe you break away from something for a little while or do something a little bit different, or is the consistency even more important in a situation like this season?
I've been surprised, because you don't know how people are going to react to isolation stretches because of COVID or quarantine, and it's really hit our guys hard. I mean, when you talk to them, they didn't anticipate how difficult it was to be in quarantine for 11 straight days, which when you stop and think about it, young people aren't geared to do that. No one is, but especially 18 to 22-year-olds, that is just not normal. And it's really bothered our guys, as it does probably guys in every program. And to bounce back is not just, okay, now I'm out of quarantine, it's back to normal. That's not it. I mean, you're feeling the effects for a while, not only physically, but also emotionally. And I think that's something we haven't maybe given enough, haven't been aware enough of how extreme that is for these guys.
Thanks, Lon.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, we have time for one more, and we'll go to Chandler for that one.
Hey, Lon, thank you so much for doing this. Just had a quick question about Jalen Hill. Could you talk about his return to the team so far since coming off COVID protocols, and really just how he's played since coming back?
Jalen was playing very well prior to COVID and missed a couple games and has bounced back pretty quickly to regain the form that he had prior. His instincts are so good. He's in the right places. He's a physical defender. He moves the ball offensively. His instincts, defensively, he rebounds the ball aggressively. All those things that good basketball players do. And he's getting more confidence with each week in shooting the basketball. So great to see him get down a three the other day with a game tied at 46. He knocks down a three against Kansas, which shows to his depth of his security and confidence, and the fact that he's continuing to move forward. So love what Jalen's doing. Great teammate, great attitude, great worker every day in practice. So easy to cheer for him.